everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a weekend talking what? Real estate, our favorite thing over here at Hometown Realty. We always love real estate. It's our passion, and it seems like the year is going by so fast. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. And did I say that I was so excited to be back with you guys? And busy weekend. I know my kiddos are rounding their basketball tournament. At least my daughter, she's playing AAU last weekend here. So we have a Saturday packed full of games. And it's going to be a busy weekend, but we're glad, as some parents are, to kind of wind down the basketball season. It's been eventful. The girls have really put a lot of work in. My daughter has been working nonstop, and she's ready for, Daddy, she said, beach time. She's ready for a little beach time. Are you guys ready? The kids getting out of school, taking your vacation, little beach time, holidays coming up. It's there. It's that time. It's time to recharge, guys. We're almost halfway through the year. It's hard to believe, 2023, that we're almost, Joe, through the whole year. I was telling my team it's like January, February, March, first quarter, we're kind of a little sluggish, and then it just seems like March, it's just been a blur ever since. And I know the kiddos are ready to get out of school. Parents, are you ready for the kiddos to get out of school? I don't know. We're going to embrace it, but it is that time. And as the real estate market heats up, we've got a great show for you. So much going on. And our topic today is home sales surge in Knoxville despite higher mortgage rates. So we're going to talk about everything here in East Tennessee, what's going on in the market, what to expect going forward by the end of the year of 2023. And we've got a little vol update, 60 seconds on the second half of the show. The summer, that's going to be around the corner in just minutes. What comes after summer? East Tennessee football. Got some exciting news that we're going to be doing here coming up soon with our vols and some special opportunities. So if you guys are out and around, maybe tuning in for the first time to this show, say, who's that guy on there? What's this guy talking about? Well, my name's Ryan Coleman, owner, founder of Hometown Realty. And my lovely wife that's not here today, but we do this show called Real Estate with Ryan. Of course, her name's April Coleman. As I refer to most of my clients, the real boss guys. And a lot of you married guys know the real boss is not here today, but sends all the love and wants to really focus on this year, how it's an impactful year. We know next year could be an election year, a whole lot of things going on. But the news media has a lot of doom and gloom. And obviously want to talk about where we see the market here now. If you're thinking about buying, challenges that you may face in the buyer's markets, different price ranges, different locations. Is building a new option? Is it better just to go new construction? What's that inventory looking like? Are we still having multiple offers on new construction? Believe it or not, some of that we were still talking about. What's the luxury market a lot? We do a lot of luxury property, high-end real estate. And how's that market working? Is that starting to heat up a little bit? That and so much more. And then, of course, in our second half of the show, really good show. So once you find your forever home, most important day is closing day. And we've got some tips right out of our book that talks about closing day, things that you need to know, whether we're helping you or not, to make sure you're best prepared for that very special day, closing day. All right, so we got some new listings coming up on Beanstalk Road, 806 Beanstalk, building lot in Gatlinburg. Make sure you check that out. New lot in Sevierville, 711 Bear Hollow Way. Great opportunity to build at the very top. Beautiful views, by the way. New listing in Maynardville, 510 Circle Drive, custom remodel. Make sure you check that particular property. New listing on Crooked Pine Lane, 5658 in Knoxville. 5 bedrooms, over 3,000 square feet. Great little subdivision there. Make sure you check that out. You can check all these out at ryancoleman.org. And of course, we have some congrats. Tamachi Drives, congratulations on that closing. The Brats, congratulations on that closing. They bought some land in Jeff County. So excited to help them on that purchase and so much more. So that's all we can fit in this moment. So seems like we just run out of time on congrats, but special thanks to all of our clients and present and past. Thanks for supporting us throughout the years. And we can't do it without you guys. You make it so special, so opportunity. Listen, if you're listening for the first time, you can always catch us on News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock. If you happen to not be near the radio, we've got it on the app. Also, Talk Radio, 92.3 FM at 11 a.m. Can catch us on both radio stations. And, of course, if you're catching us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, a little TikTok, and then, of course, Google, iTunes, and Spotify. We're always there for your replays in case you miss an episode with Real Estate with Ryan. If you're thinking about buying or selling, the market can be nervous. It's one of the largest investments that you're going to make, buying a home. Maybe you've done it a time or two and not really sure where to go. The number one thing we do this show, and we always talk about it, is to get understanding of a great agent in your corner. I bought property out of state. I used an agent. I'm in real estate. I believe in the product. I own real estate. And I believe in a good agent and a good team is going to help you. Having the best team that can help you, one of the biggest moves you can make, takes a lot of stress. We always talk in this show that buying or selling real estate is one of the most stressful things that you can do. The news media and all the extra noise now doesn't make it any easier. Right now there's more drama, more noise, more government things going on, and we'll leave it like that. But the housing inventory of the Knoxville housing market is relatively low. We're 2,800 homes approximately, on the market. That's Knoxville, that's Loudoun, that's Sevier County, that's Jeff County. That covers all of East Tennessee. So that's a large market with a lower amount of homes. Our inventory has increased from out of state dramatically, but then a lot of local market moves, moving up, moving down, selling. Maybe I need to get rid of the home because it has too many stairs, divorce, multiple reasons, estates. So there's a lot of reasons that homes are transferring this year. And despite the news media, interest rates, just to give you some examples of where we're at today, conventional's at 30-year fixed at 6.625. That's no points. We got a 15-year at 6%. Got our FHA at 6.5, VA 30-year 6.25. And our jumbo financing for our luxury properties at 6.87, 30-year, no points. So the rates are a little bit higher than 3%, right? But buyer activity is still there. We talked on these shows multiple times that even though the rates may be up a little bit, the cost of waiting to find your forever home just because the interest rates are up may cause you to lose that forever home. How important is timing? I think a lot of things that we talk about is relative. If you look for an investment property and you have the wrong timing, there could be some pain behind that. You may not make the best deal. If you're out there looking for the right property, great past clients that we looked at Hardin Valley yesterday, and we made an offer, and it wasn't, for whatever reason, it didn't work out. But the opportunity is there. They know they're going to find the right property at the right time. So timing is everything. Of finding the right buyer and the right seller put together really makes a great opportunity for your buy. And so as an investment, the same thing goes there, right? If you buy an investment, timing's everything. We bought a condo in Destin, and the values in Destin dramatically, in Florida as a market, just to give you an example, dramatically have risen. But we bought just by happen chance. We weren't even looking. We went down there during the pandemic, just to give you a kind of example about timing. And when we went down there, everything was restricted. We're coming out of COVID, and they were delaying on some states. So they were still having a lot of lockdowns and restrictions. But we were able to find an opportunity for an investor that had the property. He leased it out during his business. I don't think I ever told the story, but basically he had it for 15, 20 years. And that opportunity came along, didn't do all the updates. Some were done. And it was just an opportunity where he said, I'm done. I want to cash out. I'm ready to move on. It turned out that we were able to buy it at the right price and right terms, and has really been beneficial. But the funny thing about it is he comes back to us year after year and rents to us. So that's what I'm talking about, timing. Finding the right deal at the right time, and it happens with the right agent in your corner. So we can help you there. We're not focusing on, the sale and the commission. That's all part of it, right? I mean, we're in the sales business. I'm not going to hide that. I can't hide that. But we focus on people over profits, right? Because if we can help people, we know that that's going to turn around and give us a referral business. And they're going to make the client for life. And that's what we focus on. That's why we do this show every week. 7 years on the radio, guys. 7 years. Long time. Okay. So if you're a homeowner thinking about moving, and you wonder why now is a good time to sell, here's the good news. Even with the mortgage rates, They're picking up speed. Data from Showing Time Index, that's who we use, by the way, to measure the buyer's activity of touring of homes gives you a picture of buyer demand and increase in the last couple months. And it's not a surprise that we saw January and February of 2023 with an index in January of 190.8 and in February 201.6, almost similar to indexes that we saw post-COVID. Got so much more with us on Real Estate with Ryan. Make sure you stay around for the second half. We'll see you in just a bit.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, we're back at it, Real Estate with Ryan, second half edition. Thank you for staying with us. If you're tuning in, catching us maybe a little late, Real Estate with Ryan, got a good show for you. We're talking about home sales surge in Knoxville despite the mortgage rates, what you're hearing on the news. So March, I was talking to one of my team members today, and I said, hey, since March, it's just been wild. Of course, it's always that time around the spring market. Of course, we're going into holiday season, Memorial Day coming up, summer, kids out of school. So we know it's the busy peak of the season. But the first half, we were talking about the buyer index. So Showing Time has this traffic index that's showing it's up in January and February. So 190.8 in January, February 201.6. As the graph shows, the first 2 months of 2023 shows a noticeable increase in buyer traffic. And it's likely the limit number of homes, right? Inventory. And let's see what else it talks about. And that's what to expect. And so what we're seeing is that a lot of people in January and February, that foot traffic is increased, which is, in real estate, everything is cyclical. So it goes in cycles. So, what happens in January and February, the quarter reports over to the second quarter. So we're seeing a lot of that come in here to March and April and even at the end of May. So we expect to see that throughout the end of the year. Feds have kind of tampered down on the interest rates. Went over the interest rates in the first part of the show. Relatively competitive, a little higher than what we like to see, but it's not stopping buyers. We're seeing in the $400,000 price range, multiple offers, not uncommon, pretty much routine, $700,000 to $800,000, shorter days on the market. That move up buyer, we're seeing a lot of contingencies, and we are seeing homes that are selling rapidly in other states and other places of the market. So those are things to think about. Still seeing a lot of cash buyers. I had a good question yesterday, and one of my clients said, Ryan, how many cash buyers are we seeing in today's market? Because everybody thinks that all the buyers are coming from California with the bag of cash, and they're all paying cash. And that's, that was probably 2 years ago. Not really the case. We're seeing a lot of financing, even despite the interest rates a little bit higher than what we want to see. Some people are keeping cash. Most of the loans I'm seeing are 30 to 40% loan to value, at least 20% down. I will say under the 400,000 to 500,000, relatively speaking, we're seeing a different type of loan. Where we used to see 20%, we're seeing 5%, 5 to 10% conventional. So for whatever reason, probably the cost of inflation, everything going on, everything's expensive. People are holding on to the cash and their reserves, so they're using the 5% down. One of the things that we kind of talked about, and I've got a client that we've actually put under contract, and a lot of lenders, just to keep in mind, and why we don't want to wait on the purchase, is a lot of lenders have built into their programs now, which they didn't have a couple years ago, where they have the ability to refinance if rates go down lower in the next year or two. And of course, you say, Ryan, well, we could always refinance. Yeah, but then does it make sense? A lot of times when you refinance, unless it's one of our government programs like our FHA and VA, they have a product called a streamline refinance. I think when we got married, I had my wife do one of those in her first home. And it's very, very affordable. It makes sense. There's not a lot of closing cost. Typically, they don't make you create new escrows, especially if it's with your same lender. So all those things kind of come into play. So our streamline was our only option. But now they've got new programs and allow you to save a lot of those closing costs to just lower the rate. So, if I were looking now, and a lot of people that we're helping, it just makes sense not to wait if you find that forever home or you get a really good deal on a property. It just makes sense. All right, before we get going, we got our 60-second vol update. I kind of get into the show and I forget to do that. But as you guys know, drum roll, please. All right, we got 60-second update. Vol update. As you know, Hometown Realty is proud sponsor of the Vols. We bleed orange over here, and the volunteers have revealed plans for a new entertainment district that will be between Neyland and Thompson Bowling Arena. Danny White and others are so eager about it. It contains shops, restaurants, hotels at the end of the plaza. Let's see, what else? Tabletop structure will be placed on top of G10 on the structure of the garage, and it sits between Neyland and Thompson Bowling. I won't go into story time because I could go into that, but that is a great space for that and great opportunity. I think the fans are going to love it. Our men's baseball team, Saturday, May 20th versus South Carolina, 2 p.m., closing out the season, and then we'll have to see where post-play goes from there. Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols, and that is our 60-second update. All right, so are the worst home prices behind us? And so kind of go into what the rates and kind of what the news media is, I wanted to kind of bring up some charts. And we've got CoreLogic, Case-Shiller, and of course FHA. And we've got some month-over-month stats. You like that? Any headlines that the prices would drop 20%. So, that's what's been the news, the doom and the gloom. And you did see some of these charts. Let's run through them. Month over month. Percentage of change. Not always that you can see these things, but at least if you're streaming, give you a glance here. Case-Shiller, looking at July of last year, 0.3%. Now, that if you guys remember in July, I remember, we experienced one of the slowest Julys that we've seen. I think it was on record back since 1981. And most people say, well, why? Well, if you remember, that's when the Fed started really, really aggressively changing the rates. And then you can see that rollover was in August was 0.9%. It was the strongest decline in monthly home values adjusted. But here we are in January and February. January was 0.02. And actually in February, we're increasing to 0.02. Same thing with FHA, 0.5 in February. CoreLogic has February 0.8 and March 1.6%. So 5 months ago, prices were declining at a seasonally adjusted month-over-month basis in 92% of the markets in the U.S. Now fast forward to March, and the situation has done a literal 180, with prices now rising in 92% of the markets in February. So does that give you a little indication of what's going on in the market? If you're thinking about selling, give us a call. It's easy. It's the best number in real estate. 693-SOLD. We can help you with anything that you need, whether it's now or towards the end of the year. It's always great to get us out there, have that conversation, and talk a little further about what we need to do to position your home for the right buyer. It comes down to the market. Even though the market's moving quicker than we've seen, it's all about marketing. It's not just putting a sign out there and hoping somebody's going to bring a buyer. It's marketing to the right buyer that will maximize your home's value. Let's see, what else could we talk about? So we talked about some news. We talked about rates. What do you do when you find your forever home? What's the most important, exciting thing that we get? I knew closing day is so exciting for us. If you follow our social media pages and you watch us on Facebook and Instagram, we always have pictures of our clients, whether for whatever reason, if it's picture ready, we're putting them on there because it's memories. And it's a big thing to our firm and our team because we were able to be part of that small journey, even if it's a small part and for a short period of time. We really value relationships over here, and we know some of these moves, everyone has a story, whether it's, unfortunate divorce, new home, maybe you got a baby, exciting things, need more space. Whatever that journey is, we're involved in it. We really appreciate that opportunity. It means the world to us. So picture day's big for us. So closing day is that big day. Some of the things, just to remind you, our book that we have out comes out to our clients. And this is on this recent edition of Closing Day Checklist. And I'll run through here real quickly, things that you need to have. Keys and doors and garage door remotes are a big thing. Make sure you have that. Got to have the home broom swept. Inspection is key. Make sure we're doing our walkthroughs and all the documentation that you need for the closing agent. They'll want your photo ID, driver's license, or government passport. Make sure you do a home walkthrough, your pre-walkthrough with your agent, and make sure that there's nothing that was changed. Make sure all the personal property's there. Make sure if they said it's going to stay, it's going to stay. 3 days before closing, or as soon as possible, make sure we're checking our closing statement. Make sure you know exactly how much you got to wire in for closing cost or your total amount. Be very careful of wire fraud and scammers. Make sure you call ahead and make sure you know exactly who you're wiring the money to before you send it in. Any contingencies or things that need to be addressed, get with your agent to make sure for a successful closing. Make sure appraisal and final commitments are all taken care of. And then, of course, confirm with your moving company a couple days to make sure everything's going to be in position, or if they have to hold things, that they're able to hold things at least for a day in the transition. Hope you've enjoyed this show. Always love being with you guys. As always, look forward to seeing you next week. And if you need me, phone number 693-SOLD, or you can visit me on my website at ryancoleman.org. Y'all guys have a great weekend.